Welcome to Orange Worlds. In this tutorial, we'll explore how to customize your scene with images, videos, audio, and interactive elements to make your space truly unique. Let's get started. Now that the scene is lit, we can further customize the space by bringing in other elements. The scene editor recognizes JPEGs, PNGs, GIFs, MP4s, and MP3s. So what we can do here is go to My Assets. And these are a bunch of assets I have already dragged into the editor. So if I take a video, for example, I can scale it up. Now to preview that, I'll just go to Preview Scene, and you can hear how that'll play. It's a little scratchy while you're in the editor, but it plays perfectly well when you are in the room. Or I can take a PNG, scale that up. You'll notice that there is a background to it, but the scene editor also recognizes transparencies. So you're just going to go here to transparency mode. Right now it's default set to opaque. I'll just hit blend, and now it will recognize the transparency and blend into the scene. Like all assets, you can include a link. While this QR code works perfectly well, if you point a mobile device to the screen, you can also add a URL from here. So I'll just take this and paste that. Now, once you create a room, someone will be able to point to this image and open up this web page. Another way to do it is to go into Elements and bring up this image element. Now, this is what you see by default, but I can go to OpenSea, for example. I can copy the image address and replace that image. So if I wanted to send people to this page, I'd copy that and include it here. Now, you want to have controls enabled, so when someone points onto it, it will give them the option to open up that page. And I'll show you that once we create a room. I could also bring in audio into the scene, which I've done already. Why don't I just turn on all the elements I've already put here, and you can see. So I've dragged in an audio element, which when I preview, you can hear that very poorly. But again, once you publish it, it'll play perfectly fine. So let's do that. Let's publish this. So you'll be able to name the scene. If you allow for remixing, this will allow other people to use this as a base scene and then customize it themselves. And then if you hit promotion, it'll show up on the world.orangeweb3.com landing page. I'm going to turn those off for now and just publish. Before you publish, you'll be served this performance check. And this performance check is really for mobile devices which are maybe 3 to 4 years old. The only one to really be aware of is the texture and video RAM consumption. This is a little bit high, but it will work perfectly in most devices, definitely on desktop. Anything, though, above 512 may have a harder time loading on mobile devices and standalone VR headsets. But I've tested this scene, and it works perfectly well in VR headsets, mobile devices, and desktop. No problem. So we're just going to publish this scene. Once the scene is uploaded, we can view it. Now you're just going to create a room with this scene. You notice the address has 3 random words. You can actually change this in the room preferences. So we'll join the room. And you can hear the music. The audio is spatial, so the farther you move away from it, the softer it gets. And since I left the controls on it, I can actually turn it off. Then, as I said, the URLs associated with the images that I placed in here will work perfectly well. I've actually attached another room to this that I created and hid it in this image. So this is another room that I created and linked to this scene. And if you press back, you will re-enter the previous scene. Just to show you real quickly the room preferences. So you're just going to go to More and set up the room info and settings. Hit Edit. And now I can change this to by those changes. And now you can see the address has changed. And then you can share this link with anyone. And they will be able to enter this scene from any device with a web browser.